All right, Gemini. I just pulled 10 cards and I need to share what came through because this energy is intense. We are talking about obsession, unexpected turns, and situations hanging by the thinnest thread. The cards literally showed me something nobody saw coming. So the first card that appeared was Nine of Wands, and honestly, when this one showed up, I felt this immediate tension. You know that feeling when you have been fighting for something for so long, and you are exhausted but you cannot let your guard down? That is exactly what this card is screaming at you. There is someone in your life right now, could be romantic or someone you have been investing emotional energy into, and you have built these walls around yourself because you have been hurt before. You are standing there with all these defense mechanisms, watching, waiting, anticipating the next blow. What makes this fascinating is that you are obsessed with protecting yourself from getting hurt again, but this very obsession is creating the tension in the situation. You are so focused on what could go wrong that you are missing what is actually happening in real time. The universe is showing me that your hypervigilance is both your strength and your trap, right? Now, the energy gets even more interesting because Six of Swords came through next, and this is where things start shifting in unexpected directions. This card represents transition and movement away from turbulent waters. Here is what the cards are revealing, though. You might be obsessing over someone or a situation, thinking you need to make it work, thinking you need to stay and fight, but the universe has completely different plans. Six of Swords is literally showing me that you are being moved away from this situation whether you want it or not. Something is going to happen that forces movement, forces change, forces you to leave behind what you have been clinging to. The interesting part is that you are not going to see this coming. You are so focused on one direction, so obsessed with making something happen, but the cards are showing me that divine intervention is stepping in to move you toward calmer waters. This is not about you giving up. This is about the universe redirecting you because there is something better waiting. Then Ace of Wands showed up, and I actually had to pause because the energy completely changed. This card is pure creative fire, new beginnings, passion, inspiration, the spark that starts everything. But here is what is hanging by a thread. This new opportunity, this new beginning that wants to come into your life, is being blocked by your obsession with the old situation. The universe is trying to hand you this incredible new start. Could be a new person, a new way of seeing love, a new project that ignites your soul, but you are so fixated on what is not working that you cannot see what is being offered. Ace of Wands is screaming that there is potential for something amazing, but you need to release your grip on what you are currently obsessing over. The thread is so thin because your window of opportunity is not going to stay open forever. New beginnings require space, and you are currently holding on so tight to the old that there is no room for the new to enter. Three of Wands appeared, and this added such an interesting layer to the reading. This card is about expansion, looking toward the horizon, waiting for your ships to come in. You have planted seeds, and now you are in that phase of waiting to see results. What the cards are showing me is that you are obsessed with watching one particular ship, one particular outcome, one particular person or situation, but while you are fixated on that one thing, there are actually multiple ships coming in from different directions that you are completely missing. The universe has several opportunities, several possibilities heading your way, but your obsession is like tunnel vision. You are staring so hard at one point on the horizon that you cannot see the bigger picture. Something different is about to happen, something you did not plan for, something that is going to shift your entire perspective about what you thought you wanted versus what you actually need. King of Swords came through next, and this card brought such a sharp, clear energy. This is the card of mental clarity, truth, intellectual power, cutting through illusions. The message here is crucial because whoever you are obsessing over, or whatever situation you are fixated on, you are not seeing it clearly. You are not being objective. King of Swords is showing me that you need to detach emotionally for a moment and look at the actual facts. What is really happening versus what you want to be happening? This king has no patience for self-deception or fantasy. The situation is hanging by a thread because the truth is about to cut through all the illusions you have been building. Someone is going to say something or do something that makes everything crystal clear, and you will not be able to unsee it. This could be painful, but King of Swords promises that truth, even harsh truth, is ultimately liberating. You cannot make good decisions based on fantasy and wishful thinking. Four of Swords showed up, and this completely shifted the energy into stillness. This card is about rest, retreat, mental recuperation, taking time to heal. What the cards are revealing is that your obsession has exhausted you mentally and emotionally. You have been running scenarios in your head nonstop, analyzing every interaction, trying to figure out what everything means, and your mind desperately needs rest. The something different that is going to happen is that you are going to be forced into a period of pause. Maybe communication stops suddenly. Maybe the person pulls back. Maybe circumstances force you to step away whether you want to or not. Four of Swords is showing me that this pause is not a punishment. It is actually a blessing in disguise because you need this time to clear your head and see things from a fresh perspective. The obsession cannot continue at this intensity without burning you out completely. Eight of Pentacles appeared and brought really interesting practical energy. This card is about mastery, dedication, focusing on your craft, putting in the work to develop your skills. What the universe is telling you through this card is that while you have been obsessing over this person or situation, you have been neglecting your own personal development and growth. There is something you need to be working on, some skill you need to be developing, some aspect of yourself that needs attention, but all your energy has been poured into this obsession. The cards are showing me that the different thing that is about to happen involves you redirecting this intense focus toward yourself and your own growth. When you stop obsessing over someone else and start becoming obsessed with your own evolution, everything shifts. This is where your power actually lies. Nine of Swords came through, and honestly, this card confirmed what I was already feeling in the reading. This is the card of anxiety, worry, mental anguish, sleepless nights. You have been torturing yourself with thoughts about this situation. What if this happens? What if that happens? What did they mean by this? Why did they do that? Your mind has been your own worst enemy, and the obsession has turned into anxiety that is affecting your peace and probably your physical health too. Nine of Swords is showing me that the situation is hanging by a thread, partly because you are creating worst-case scenarios in your mind that might not even be real. The cards are saying that something different is going to happen when you realize that most of what you are worried about exists only in your thoughts, not in reality. There is a difference between intuition and anxiety, and right now you need to learn to tell them apart. The star appeared, and I actually felt emotional when this card showed up because after all that intensity and worry, here comes hope and healing. The star is the card that appears after the tower, after everything falls apart, and it represents renewal, faith, divine guidance, knowing that you are being led towards something better even when you cannot see it yet. What the cards are revealing is that yes, the situation you are obsessing over is hanging by a thread, and it might actually break, but that breaking is going to lead to healing you did not know you needed. The star is showing me that you are going to realize that what you were obsessing over was actually keeping you from your true path. Something different is going to happen when you let go and trust that the universe has something more aligned with your highest good. This card promises that even if things do not work out the way you hoped, you are being guided toward genuine happiness and peace. The final card that appeared was Nine of Cups, and this is called the Wish Fulfillment card. This is what you have been waiting for, the emotional satisfaction, the joy, the sense of having your deepest desires met. But here's what the cards are really saying. The wish that is going to be fulfilled might not be the wish you think you are wishing for right now. You are obsessing over one specific outcome, one specific person, one specific scenario, but the universe is preparing to give you something different that is actually going to make you happier than what you thought you wanted. Nine of Cups at the end of this reading is showing me that once you release the obsession, once you stop forcing and controlling and trying to make something happen, once you trust the process, you are going to receive a blessing that exceeds what you were fixating on. The thread is going to break, and when it does, you are going to be free to receive what is truly meant for you. So Gemini, to bring this all together, you are in a situation where you have become obsessed with someone or something. You have been fighting and defending and worrying and trying to control the outcome. But the cards are showing me that something completely different is about to happen. You are being moved away from what is not working. New opportunities are trying to come in. truth is about to cut through illusions. You are going to be forced to rest and redirect your energy toward yourself. And ultimately, the universe is preparing to give you something that aligns with your true happiness, even if it is not what you thought you wanted. The situation is hanging by a thread, and when that thread breaks, it is not an ending. It is actually a liberation that leads to genuine fulfillment. Trust that what is falling away needs to fall away, and what is coming is better than anything you could have planned for yourself.